Greetings, friends. I am Vitaly Portnikov, your host and guide. 12 innocent children and teenagers tragically and unexpectedly lost their lives in the village of Majdal Shams, located on the Golan Heights, after a rocket strike from Lebanon hit the soccer field where the children were playing a friendly game on a peaceful and sunny day. The rocket strike, according to the terrorist organization Hezbollah, was part of a significant and widespread attack in the northern region of Israel, causing considerable damage. However, after it became known about the 12 children killed and the large number of injured, including women and elderly people, Hezbollah, which is a Shiite militant group and political party based in Lebanon, denied responsibility for carrying out this attack. Nevertheless, we are indeed dealing with the most extremely serious situation in terms of the number of casualties, which is quite alarming. An attack on northern Israel since October 7th of last year, when heavily armed militants from another terrorist organization, Hamas, which is based in the Gaza Strip, infiltrated Israel and took a large number of Israeli citizens hostage, causing widespread fear and panic among the population and drawing international condemnation. Since then, for approximately 296 days now, the ongoing and relentless war in the Middle East has persisted, which, as a result of Hezbollah's attack, could take on a new, much more serious and significant character. It is necessary to understand the situation in which the Israeli government found itself as a result of this attack, and the broader context. All the innocent victims in the beautiful, picturesque and historic village of Majdal Shams were Druze. This small village is located on the Golan Heights, a strategically important plateau that was occupied by Israel from Syria in 1967 after a period of constant and intense shelling of Israeli territory from this elevated border region. The Golan Heights, known for their significant military advantage due to their high elevation, were later formally annexed by Israel, a move that has had lasting geopolitical implications in the region. The residents of Majdal Shams are mostly not Israeli citizens, contrary to what many media outlets incorrectly report. They are residents of Israel, a country in the Middle East, most of whom retain their original Syrian citizenship. Although it does not have the ability for constant direct communication with the country on the other side of the dividing line, actually, that is. Cooperation with the Druze community living in Majdal Shams and nearby settlements is a vital task for the Israeli government. This cooperation is crucial for maintaining stability in a challenging region. It ensures peace and addresses the unique needs and concerns of the Druze community, which plays a significant role in the broader context of regional stability and security. That is why, in the first hours after the attack in Majdal Shams, many leading Israeli politicians could be seen there. That is why the leaders of the State of Israel are in contact with the head of the Druze community in the region, because the coexistence of the State of Israel and the Druze community in the Golan Heights is indeed an important factor for stability in the entire region. Hezbollah, the terrorist organization, is currently in a precarious and difficult situation. Its recent rocket attack essentially hit an Arab village, causing significant damage and distress among the local population. The Druze are a confessional part of the Arab people, recognized for their unique religious beliefs and practices. At the same time, it is clear that from the perspective of the Shiite organization itself, the Druze are neither Muslims nor Arabs. However, no one will say this out loud. If only because the Druze community in Lebanon has significant influence on the country's political processes, and notably, actively participates in the complex system of power distribution in this Middle Eastern state. And indeed, even an organization such as Hezbollah does indeed not want to make an enemy out of the Druze community, a deadly adversary in many ways. It is abundantly clear that in this particular situation, Hezbollah will categorically deny any involvement in the strike on the town of Majdal Shams near the border. The Israeli government simply must, in order to absolutely deliver a sufficiently strong and effective blow to Hezbollah's positions, because if this does not happen, or if the strike, for example, is much less significantly and critically severe than the strike on the positions of the Houthis, whose drones, as is known, in recent times and lately actually reached Tel Aviv, it will appear that there are indeed different grades of territories in Israel, that a strike on Tel Aviv and the death of a civilian warrants much more severe retaliation than a strike on Majdal Shams and the death of 12 children. Not to mention that the leaders of the northern Israel communities are already reaching out to the Prime Minister. The countries of Benjamin and Netanyahu, which are located in the Middle East, claim that he has completely forgotten about the northern regions and that Israel will not take any significant action until rockets hit the coastal areas of the country, where the Prime Minister and other high-ranking government officials live. But Hezbollah, a powerful militant group based in Lebanon, will not acknowledge its deliberate strike on the town of Majdal Shams, again because admitting that it was indeed their rocket, which was of Iranian manufacture, that tragically killed the innocent children would mean creating new and serious political problems in Lebanon. Even media outlets in this country, including those that are quite distant from Hezbollah, when reporting on the attack and the deaths of residents in Majdal Shams, often put the word strike in quotes and emphasize that some rocket fell on the village from Lebanon without directly blaming Hezbollah, as they aim to provide a neutral perspective, and in their reports they are highlighting the fact that in the attack, although just a few minutes before the tragedy, representatives of the terrorist organization had actually announced the shelling of northern Israel. It turned out somewhat like the situation with the Malaysian Boeing shot down by the Russians, where initially there was a report that a Ukrainian military plane had been shot down from Russian positions, but later, when it turned out that the plane was a passenger aircraft, they naturally retracted the information about the destruction of the aircraft altogether. Therefore, Israel will be forced to deliver a significant strike on Hezbollah positions, and Hezbollah, of course, will undoubtedly and undeniably interpret such a significant strike not only as a retaliatory action, but as an unprovoked and aggressive attack on Lebanon and the surrounding region. And of course, this is precisely why the situation can escalate much more quickly into a major war between Israel and Hezbollah, and consequently between Israel and Lebanon, than it has in recent times when the parties acknowledged the exchange of strikes. Given the complex historical context and the delicate geopolitical situation, it is important to consider the ramifications of any potential escalation. That is why the situation with the child killings in Majdal Shams is being taken so seriously everywhere right now. The White House is already expressing serious concerns that it will not be possible to avoid escalation in Lebanon, which the United States has indeed been trying to prevent for all these months. In Lebanon, Prime Minister Najib Mikati condemned the killing of the children in the region, although he did not directly name those responsible for this tragic and heinous crime. And of course, in Israel and beyond, politicians on one hand talk about an inevitable retaliatory strike, while on the other hand claim that Israel does not intend to start a war in Lebanon. But war can, of course, occur regardless of the specific tactical plans, the government of Israel and the military. The circumstances may lead to a new major war in the Middle East, which is imminent. Thank you, friends. Stay on this channel, check out my Patreon, Niboy, and Mikofi channels, and use YouTube's sponsorship features.